Now, before you buy equipment, your budget should be the most important thing you need to consider before making orders or making requests for equipment. Depending on how much you have, you can either get equipment that are new or fairly used for setting up a sachet water factory, also for a bottled water factory and dispenser. And this also applies to any kind of manufacturing industry you're into. Maybe you're into biscuit production, oil processing, and so on. So the prices of the equipment, they vary. Either you're buying new, you're buying used, production capacity, location, all those things, they factor in or they come into place when considering the cost or when you get the cost of items for production. Now, when buying pure water equipment or bottling equipment, location matters, especially if you are in Nigeria. If you are in Nigeria, let's say for example you are in Abuja, it is more logical and advisable for you to buy equipment from a supplier in Abuja. Because if you are buying from a supplier in Lagos, you might be seeing that there might be some price differences and you're trying to seize the opportunity to buy from Lagos. But by the time you factor in the cost of transporting the items from that location down to Abuja, you see that it's just as good as you buying from the supplier in Abuja. So location is important when it comes to purchasing equipment. Similarly to if you are in Nigeria and maybe you see prices of equipment or you have a supplier in China that is supplying the equipment, by the time you consider the cost of buying the equipment, importing it, transportation, all those things, you see that location is a key factor and is also favorable in most cases when it comes to the supply of the equipment. Now, in the part of researching the supplier, you should also try and find out their history, their work history. They might have done installations in the past. There is no crime in you asking them for images, pictures of their previous work, or you can even log on to their website or get testimonials online from other people who have actually worked with them. So by having this information, it will help you make a better informed decision when buying equipment from such suppliers. You should also look at the warranty which they offer. Now, the warranty, some companies give 6 months warranty, like the company I personally partner with here in Abuja, they give 6 month warranty. Some companies give 1 year warranty, and so on. So, depending on who you are buying from, the warranty to the vary and the ranges. And I think this warranty to also depends on the kind of equipment you are buying. If you are buying maybe bulkier and heavier equipment, and equipments that are more expensive, you will get a longer duration of warranty. And if you are buying lesser, your warranty will greatly depend on the amount which you are investing in acquiring the equipment. Now, some of the suppliers too, they also deliver. So there was a time when my supplier in Abuja here did free delivery for a few customers. So some suppliers are able to offer such services. They will give you free delivery for you to get your equipment at no cost. So this can be something you also look into when trying to make your buying decision for the equipment. Also, the parts and the installations. Some suppliers in Nigeria only sell the equipment, they don't actually do the installation. Some do the selling, they do the installations, and they also offer spare parts. So, depending on who you are buying from and where you are buying from, it will be good for you to also do your research and find out if they offer installations, if they offer spare parts, and all those other options. For myself personally, the companies which I partner with here in Abuja and in Lagos, they do offer installations and they also have spare parts in case you have one or two things missing or you need some things replaced when the equipments are installed. Now, a lot of these equipments do require technical assistance, maybe after you've used them for a period of time, maybe after like a year or 6 months, getting to a year. There might be some things which will require technical assistance. So it's good for you to work with a company that can offer you technical assistance or they can assist you in troubleshooting some of the items in case you experience some challenges in the future. So I myself personally, and because I've gotten this question, people do ask me if I do sell the machines myself. What I specialize in is in production of sachet water and bottled water. So I use my experience and knowledge in sachet water production and combine it with my partnership of supplying equipment to create these videos. That is why you see me have the knowledge of sachet water production and also in the supply of equipment. I do intend to have my own warehouse where I will offer these machines directly in the future. But for now, I still partner with companies in Abuja and in Lagos. So in case you need their contact and you want to maybe get equipment for nylon production, for pure water production, bottled water production, nylon production, bakery equipment, all those things, I have suppliers in Nigeria which I currently partner with. Before your equipment also gets to you, you should expect some Nigerian factor come into play, especially if you are within Nigeria. A while back, I supplied some equipment to a customer who contacted me via YouTube here. There's some challenges which we faced when supplying the equipment. So we actually had a discussion, and I said in my coming videos, I'll try to advise people or try to make people be aware of some of these things. In Nigeria, sometimes when you make a purchase, like buying equipment, before it is transferred to you, you need to get drivers and someone who will supply the equipment to you. So if you don't have a reliable driver, it's not that you don't even have a reliable driver, it's just that most of our drivers in Nigeria, they might be occupied with one thing or the other, or they might tell you they are coming in the next 1 hour and you won't see them until the next 5 hours or things like that. So it is good for you to also be aware that when you are going to a business like this, you are bound to face some of these little challenges. But things like that shouldn't hinder you from going for what you intend to do. You can also keep this in mind when you've purchased your machines and you are expecting them to be delivered. If you are purchasing the equipment from maybe a neighboring country, from Cameroon, from Sierra Leone, we've had customers like that too in the past. If you are buying from any other African country outside Nigeria, you can come down to Nigeria, physically see the equipment yourself, then have them shipped to your location. Or if you need the equipment shipped directly from here, maybe you won't be able to come down to Nigeria, you can also contact me or leave a comment in the comment section. Then after having some discussions, we'll know how to have these machines delivered to you from Nigeria here to your location. And you can also do the same thing likewise if you are ordering from other countries too. You can, go online, do your own small research, look up the company. If possible, visit the showroom or their warehouse, see the equipment yourself, make arrangements for the equipment to be delivered to you, then, finalize the whole process. And you should also be aware of some of maybe the government laws and some of the duties which you have to pay for importing such items, for importing and exporting such items. Now, depending on which kind of equipment you are buying, they have various power consumption rates. The power consumption rates will also play a role in the prices of the equipment. By the time you are buying equipment for maybe sachet water production, bottled water production, bakery equipment, processing equipment, you should try and find out from the seller what is the power consumption rate. Because you can buy a pure water machine in Nigeria here, and the pure water machine is around 1.6 kilowatts. That's the power consumption. You will assume that maybe every other pure water machine too works around that range, but it's not so. You can be buying a different pure water machine and it will have different power consumption rate. So try and make an informed decision. Try to find out from the sellers of the equipment what is the power consumption rate of the equipment before they are installed, so that they can give you a better idea when you are doing the wiring and the fittings of your facility. So for the equipment, like I've said in my previous videos, there are the manual machines, there are the semi-automatic, and there's the fully automatic. So the manual is just like the bottle filling machine and the you know hot air gun machine, which I'll be putting on screen. You'll see them. These equipments require direct use on the products before you are able to get the desired results which you want. That's like for the hot air gun, you need to manually align the bottles, put the shrink wrapping film, plug the hot air gun, then point it at the shrink wrapping film and the bottles for it to be packaged. So that's the manual way of packaging the bottle. Now the automatic way is the shrink wrapping machine. And even with the shrink wrapping machine, there's the semi-automatic and there's the fully automatic. The fully automatic doesn't require you to even touch it. All the packaging, the alignments of the bottles, everything goes smoothly in the flow. But the semi-automatic, you have to physically arrange the bottles first before the automatic sequence takes place. So there's a difference between the prices too, depending on what your production capacity is, depending on what the purpose of the equipment is for. So the price for that will also vary. Now, for these various equipments, you will need an operator. Let's say if it is the pure water machine, like these two pure water machines, we have operators for them. We have two operators that come, that they do the production simultaneously. So two pure water machines, each pure water machine requires an operator. Although you can say you can have one operator that, when the machine is producing, this one can be producing, this other one will be producing, then the operator will just be doing the bagging. But doing such kind of production can be risky, because if this machine should jam, or maybe the operator is concentrating on packaging water from this other machine, you might get distracted and won't be able to manage both machines. In short, it's not even advisable. If you have one machine, have one operator for the pure water machine. If you have another one, if it is four machines, have four operators for the pure water machine. Now, for the semi-automatic machines and the fully automatic machines, depending on the scale of production and what you are producing, if it is bottled water, if it is a fully automatic sequence, like one machine which I saw installed by Navan Machines, and there was one I also saw in Lagos too. All the operations were fully automatic. In short, only required only one operator to control the touch panel for everything to work. So depending on the kind of machine you are buying, the number of operators too will vary. If you are buying pure water machines 111, you need 111 operators, and so on. Before you hire these operators, there are some of them that are already experienced, they are trained, and there are also some who don't have any experience operating these machines. So it is good for you to know the kind of operator you're hiring. If you are hiring fresh operators, you need to train them before they start using the equipment. But if you are hiring experienced operators, they will come with their experience, and the work will begin from there. It is good for you to know the amount of operators which you require for your production. And you should also try to know their skill and level of expertise in the packaging business. Like some of these operators, especially like our own operators here, they know how to troubleshoot the equipment. So there are some operators who come with that knowledge, which is an added benefit to the company. But you can also get someone, a technician, to come and check on your machines in case you have any technical difficulties with the machine. And if you already have a water factory, but you are looking for operators, or you need someone to come and assist you with the factory operations in your factory, instead of contacting me, I'm in Abuja, you might be contacting me from Lagos, from Enugu. I've had people contacting me from different parts of the country. The advice I'll give here is, if you want to repair your machine, you can ask maybe your competitors or other people in the same line of business within your area for an operator, or you can also ask them for technical assistance. I'm sure one or two of these factories will have maybe an engineer, somebody who is dedicated for repairing their equipment. By connecting with them, you'll be able to get the contact of that person to come and also service your equipment and carry out the repairs which are needed. By the way, if you've watched the video this far and you've enjoyed the information shared here, don't forget to leave a like on the video and also subscribe to the YouTube channel. This shows your support and it encourages me to produce more videos. Now, when going for equipment and you're buying used equipment, it is important you find out why they are selling those equipment. There are various reasons why people do sell their equipment. In short, the last factory which I advertised here on my YouTube channel, the reason for selling was because the owner of the factory was traveling out of the country and she needed some funds to help her with her travels. So that is why she sold the equipment, sold the land, sold the vehicle, and every other thing that was there. So similarly, some people might be selling for that reason, or some people might have some severe challenges, maybe with the equipments themselves or that area where they are running the business. So there might be various reasons why they are selling off their factory, the equipments, and so on. But your own duty now is, since you are buying those equipments, try as much as possible to know if those equipments are good, they are sound, and they are working well. Because when you buy this equipment, and if there is any challenge, any issue with the machine, it is you that will suffer it. There was a time we bought a fairly used pure water machine at a giveaway price. In short, when I heard the price of that machine, my first thought was, are you sure this machine is truly okay? because they sold the machine for us around 400,000. Pure water machine. That was this year. No, late last year. That was late last year. So it was like at a giveaway price for me. Me that I knew pure water machine as at then was around 1.8 million. We sold pure water machine 400,000. So we jumped on the offer, bought the machine, and took it to one of our factories. When we installed the machine, we observed that the ceiling side of the machine, that's, I don't know if you can see this machine, the ceiling side around here, there was a metal or there was something causing the machine to puncture the nylon. So when the nylon is producing pure water, maybe in a bag, you will see like 7 leakages. Now, as the pure water is dropping, there are small, small punctures on the ceiling side, which cause the machine to, create a lot of leakages. So that leakages generated a lot of loss for us in the market. Our nylon wasted, and we had to do away with that machine. So similarly to when you are buying used equipment, try and find out if the machine is sound. If possible, check the machine, have them run tests. They should even service the equipment for you so that you are rest assured that the equipment you are getting are of sound quality. Now, the price of fairly used machines do greatly depend on the age of the machine. There are some machines that are over 5 years old, some over 10 years old, some maybe over 6 months. So depending on how old the machine is, the price of fairly used equipment they vary. There is no particular amount that you say how much is fairly used machine, and they will tell you 1.5. The 1.5 they are telling you maybe it's for a machine that's over 7 years old, or maybe you can hear fairly used machine around 2.1 million, and you'll be wondering, is this not almost brand new? And depending on the age of the machine, maybe they just use the machine for 6 months. You can see that at that point you see that the price of the machine is quite high, but you can guarantee that the quality of the machine is as good as you buying brand new. So you can make your research, know some of these things before you actually purchase the fairly used equipment. Now, sometimes people do ask me, do I need some particular items? Like somebody, even this morning, somebody asked me, do I need a reverse osmosis machine when buying equipment for a water factory? A reverse osmosis machine is by far the most reliable way of producing the best pure water now in the market, because it's able to filter out a lot of particles and a lot of contaminants in the water. If you want to be rest assured that the water you are producing with full confidence is 100% pure water, get the reverse osmosis machine. But if you are trying to work on your budget and cut corners and try to, maybe remove the cost of buying that reverse osmosis machine, what I'll suggest you do is after you've done the lab analysis for your water, you've tested the quality of your water, and you are sure that it is safe for drinking. It is approved by NAFDAC that is safe for drinking without the reverse osmosis machine. That's when you can proceed on the project and go without the reverse osmosis machine. But if you ask me, I'll say if you are coming into this business and you are willing to invest this amount of money, maybe for buying vehicles, buying other things for the sake of this business, it is also good to that you invest as much as you can in producing the best product in the market so that all those other things won't be a waste. If you don't have good water, maybe people buy your water and they see it bubbling or foaming after some days, or they open your water and they perceive some smell and some other things like that. It will just crash your business. In short, there was a time we experienced something one time in one of our facilities. Our reverse osmosis machine had some issues. So there were some particles that slipped into the bottled water. Because of this, we had to recall all the products in the market. We had to empty all the bottles, and the whole thing was a chore for us. So, similarly, if you are buying equipment for this product, go for the best so that you are producing the best and you are giving the consumers the best quality you have to offer. So if you ask me, when you are buying, especially treatment equipment for the water treatment, try and buy everything. Now, if there are other things you need to skip, maybe like if you are buying bottling equipment, there are some things you can skip out. You can just go for a semi-automatic machine. Then maybe some of those other automatic parts, like the automatic cap loader and all those things, can be eliminated. That one won't directly affect the quality of your product. Although it is good you have everything automated and reduce human contact, But for this one, you can, kind of understand the budget constraints in that. But if it is for water treatment equipment, try and get the reverse osmosis machine and everything that has to do with producing the best water. So that by the time you start producing your product and selling in the market, you won't be recalling products and you won't have some issues in regards to the quality of your product. When it comes to the quality of machines also, the Standard Organization of Nigeria, SON, do hold inspections. In short, there was a time we had a seminar with SON, which I did a video and posted here on my YouTube channel. You can go and check out that video if you haven't watched it yet. They go into details on the standard procedure for operational practices in a factory, and they do come for routine inspections too in the factory. So by having standard and quality equipment in your factory, once SON come to your factory, they will give you their approval, they will issue you a certificate, and you can confidently export your product. If you want to export even outside Nigeria, you can export because you have the seal of NAFDAC and Standard Organization of Nigeria. Now, once you are buying equipment, there are some advantages that comes with buying new equipment and used equipment. For the new equipment come directly from the factory in a box. You are the one unboxing the equipment. The equipments are all brand new. That's one advantage of buying new equipment. Another one is the equipments do work well. You will hardly buy a new equipment, a new machine for pure water, especially pure water machines. Like this one, since we bought this machine, no issue at all with it. Even though it doesn't work well or if there's any issue with it, you can, get the warranty covered for the equipment. So there's warranty for new equipment. The new equipments work perfectly well. They do come with spare parts. And before you begin operation with the new equipment, they do test run to test them for you in your own factory, and you'll see it working physically in your own factory. That's even before commissioning. Now, the major disadvantage with the new equipment is just that they are very expensive. Now, when you come down to the fairly used equipment, the advantages of the fairly used equipment is that some of them, when you buy a good fairly used equipment, it will last you a long period of time, just as if you bought a new machine. So, when you have a good one, it can last you a long period of time, and they are less expensive compared to the new ones. If you get a fairly used machine that is working well, it will serve you as though it were a new machine, and it is half the price or maybe lesser than what you will buy a new machine for. Now, the major issue with the used one is that a lot of them or some of them do have hidden issues. Hidden issues in the sense that maybe there might be a pipe that is leaking. And for the fairly used equipment, most of them don't have warranty. When you are buying something fairly used, even if there's a warranty, it's not as much or as long as that of a new machine. So you can keep these things in mind when buying the new machine and the fairly used machine. Now, it is also good for you that once you have the budget or you have the money at hand to buy these machines early. In short, I would say even before you begin construction, you can buy the equipment because the prices of this equipment, most of these equipments are imported in Nigeria. That is the pure water machine, the bottling machine, the dispenser machine. Most of the equipments you see in Nigeria here are imported. Only a few companies have manufacturing plants here in Nigeria. So it is important that once these machines are on ground, due to exchange rates, if you have the money, you can buy the equipment, have them stored before build your factory, install the machines, and have them commissioned. At least at that by that time, you already have the machines on ground. And even though, or if you don't want to proceed or continue with the project, maybe you have a change in mind or something, you can still sell the machines and recover back your money. And you might even sell them at a higher price than what you initially bought them for, because the prices of the equipment do tend to go up due to exchange rate. Now, the cost of the machine too, like I mentioned earlier, depends on factors like cost of transporting, where you are buying from, distance from the factory, inspection of the equipment, and all those other things too. So all those factors that come into play will determine how much you are buying the machine for. That's why sometimes when some people tell me, oh, they got a quotation from a different person, they are saying this is how much the person is selling to them. There's no fixed particular price. There are ranges which you can say, okay, for this range you can get the machine, but there is no fixed price because different factors affect the price of the equipment. Now, some suppliers do offer deals. Maybe if you are buying from China or even in Nigeria here. Like I said, my supplier in Abuja here a while back, we offered free delivery. So there are some deals like that you can get. You can try and make information. Maybe if you are speaking with a supplier from China, you are speaking to a supplier from maybe Germany or any country, you can ask them if they have any deals, any offer, which they do give when these equipments are purchased from them. This will help you cut down cost and it will help you make an effective buying decision. Now, if you're a supplier of the pure water machine, bottling machine, processing equipment, I am open to partnership in case you even have like an assembling plant, maybe where you assemble your machines. We can partner together and maybe have a sponsored video whereby we'll showcase your equipment, have a look at what you have, what are some of the deals you are offering, and how people can actually connect with you and do business with you. So if you are open for such collaborations, I'll leave my email on screen so that you can contact me and we'll proceed from there. Now, when making purchase for these equipment, some companies do offer installmental payments. Like the company I partner here in Abuja with, that's Bevic, they do accept installmental payment. So you can make a part payment. Maybe if you are paying for equipment 4 million or you are paying 10 million, you can pay 5 million for a start. Then after a while, you pay the remaining 5 million. The installmental payment works with the current price of the equipment in the market. And this is mostly for those buying the equipment from our suppliers here in Nigeria. But if you are buying from other countries like maybe China, Germany, and India, all those other suppliers of machines, you can ask them if they accept installmental payments and if they will be willing to store the equipment for in their warehouse before having it shipped over to you. One more thing is when buying these equipments and having them delivered to you, especially if you are in Nigeria here, make requests for trolley. Either buy a trolley or ask your suppliers to come with a trolley. Now this trolley will be used to offload the machines from the truck which they are delivered into the factory. There was a time we supplied equipments to a factory around Cairo and there was no trolley. The equipments were supplied, bottling equipments, heavy equipments, but no trolley to actually move the equipments into the factory. Those equipments has to stay there outside till the following day before trolley was available to move them inside. So similarly, once your equipments are coming, try and make arrangement for trolleys and for people who will help you in moving the machines into the factory because the machines are quite heavy and they require a lot of manpower when moving them and pushing them into the factory. Now, if you are pushing them into the factory to also get tires, maybe ordinary tires like condemned tires for the machine to rest on because you won't want the equipment resting on the ground to avoid scratches and dents to the equipment. And for the equipment to be offloaded, you will need a trolley vehicle or a hayap, as they call it here in Nigeria, to lift the machines from the truck down to the factory. That's for lifting the equipment from the truck to the factory. I'll include a clip for you to visually see what I'm talking about. This is very necessary when moving the equipment into your factory. And make the factory entrance slopey. Make it very easy for the machine to move in. There was one factory that we delivered equipment to, and the entrance had like metal work from the burglary in the entrance. We had to remove the burglary for the machines to be able to move in smoothly into the factory. So try and keep all these things in mind when constructing your factory and when moving your equipment into the factory. So these are the major tips which I have highlighted for purchasing equipment to be used for water manufacturing business. If you've watched the video so far and you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and also subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you have any questions, you can leave it in the comment section below.